Access Sacramento presents Hometown Sports Game of the Week. Major underwriting support this season for Hometown Sports Game of the Week on Access Sacramento is provided by the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission. Access Sacramento also thanks Sharif Jewelers, fine jewelers since 1932. Sharif Jewelers, a longtime sponsor of community television. And Folsom Lake Honda, a proud sponsor of Access Sacramento's Hometown TV and Game of the Week, and a partner in our community, Folsom Lake Honda.
The playoff plot continues to thicken in this 2019 edition of the CIF Sac-Joaquin section Les Schwab Tires basketball playoffs, and Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week is perfectly positioned this evening to bring a doozy of a matchup as we continue our coverage here from Folsom High School. Tonight, the host Folsom Bulldogs ready to meet the invading Franklin High Wildcats in a boys Division I matchup. Good evening and welcome to the show. Along with Lauren Goodman, I'm Will James, and we think we have a very nice presentation for you tonight. Two solid ball clubs that are close in many comparisons, two well-coached teams, and certainly this intensity tonight will be very evident from the beginning.
These two teams are going to be battle tested from the beginning, as well as there's going to be a coaching chess match going on throughout the night that we can pay attention to.
Well, certainly these teams have had to earn their way here, one more difficultly than the other. But the last meeting, it's been a while since they've hooked up. More than 8 years ago, Lauren.
Well, the last time these two teams saw each other, there was a duo with the Johnson Spark winning effort, combining for 27 points, and King added in an 11. Both teams at the time were led by different head coaches. Fortmaker was down at Franklin, and then we had an in-between stint where Hartworth was leading Folsom.
A one-year absence for Coach Mike Wall, but he's back at the helm, of course, racking up more victories. Now, the last outings for these two, in order to get to this stage, they were more or less warm-up victories, certainly for Folsom, a little tougher for Franklin.
Well, Franklin had a freshman-senior combo where Estacio and Wright connected for 28 points, filling up more than 26, so that was a good combination for Franklin, even though they were in a tougher matchup. And then Folsom competed against Bear Creek, the play-in game team, who really fought to get to Folsom, but Folsom handled them with ease.
And let's credit Bear Creek. They had to have a little 4-game streak at the end of the regular season. That included a key win over Pleasant Grove to get into the dance. But Folsom handled them easily, and largely in part to the impact players that are going to have to carry the load tonight in adverse conditions, you might say. There's pressure.
Well, the Wiley Wildcats are led by the senior Leland Estacio. He's been carrying with 16.3 points a game. The kid can do everything, Will. And then Davion Wright and Jalen Roberts are a combination of scoring and size in the middle for Franklin.
Roberts crucial to the Wildcats' hopes tonight of advancing. He's got his hands full in the post and will have to rebound. Well, here we are. Quarterfinal round action. Folsom High School, Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week, and the Bulldogs' Big Three know that they're in the spotlight.
Well, these are three guys that have been leading the way. 29 games, almost 30 tonight for all three of these guys. Fears, Scotts, and Lynch are going to work together to try to put some magic on the court for Folsom. Fears coming in with 11.8 points a game, leading the way, but Lynch the big fella inside off the football field, 14.2 a game. He's going to have a major impact in how these Bulldogs are going to be successful tonight.
According to Coach Wall, Lynch has had a double-double in every league game that he's played. So that's going to be a big test for Roberts and the inside game for the visiting Wildcats. Well, we've got the table set, but more to come here. When we return, Lauren will dig a little bit deeper into tonight's big playoff game. Stay with us.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
No doubt you're going places, young lady.
Thank you. And thank you for the interview as well. I can imagine it was the last thing that you wanted to do after such a long campaign meeting.
You really are a very intelligent young woman. You're very smooth.
You're very smooth yourself.
You have no idea.
Welcome to the show. We're at Folsom High School this evening for quarterfinal round action of the CIF Sac-Joaquin section Les Schwab Tires basketball playoffs. I'm Will James. Let's turn our attention to floor level and Lauren Goodman for more on tonight's big game.
Well, Will, I got to talk about it earlier. Tonight is going to be a chess match of the coaches, and coming in for the visiting team, they will be led by Ken Manfredi. Manfredi's coming into his 4th year leading Franklin with a 60-50 overall record. Prior to his stint with Franklin, he had 10 years with Monterey Trail, where he had successful seasons, coming in at 135-40 overall, and you see his record. His best seasons came back in the 2013-2014 season at Monterey Trail, where he racked in a 20-season record, and then last season was also his best season, where he racked in a 20-10 with Franklin. Now the Wildcats are prepared, but for the home visitors, they will be led by the one, the only Mike Wall. Mike Wall is coming into tonight, his 12th season leading the Bulldogs. He has a 305 winning record over 113. Not too bad for Coach Wall. And in that 12-year stint, his best season came also in the 2013-2014 season, where he was 32-2 and was a finalist participant in the state championship game. Coach Wall is a veteran at what he does. Now tonight is going to be a matchup of the ages. Coming in since 2005, tonight will be the 8th matchup with these two teams. Now tonight is the semifinal round to get to, but the first matchup came over 8 years ago, and the longest streak in this series happened with Franklin, 3 straight in 2005 and 2006. Franklin leads this series 4-3, but tonight is either win or go home. The ball is in anybody's court. Will?
Well, the gym continues to fill as late arriving fans are braving wet, cold weather to come out for this quarterfinal round ball game. The excitement continues to build. Two teams that have distinguished themselves throughout the season, particularly Folsom with their 24-5 mark, and an undefeated Sierra Foothill League mark of 10-0. And Ken Manfredi's Wildcats did it the hard way. They really had to turn up the heat down the stretch, winning 8 of their last 9 in order to get into a maneuvering position, and then an opening win over Grigori of Modesto that we saw earlier in the pregame show. But Coach Wall's outfit, they've knocked down victories in 14 of their last 15 games. The only setback, an overtime loss to College Park in a ball game that they were ahead going to the 4th quarter. So they've both been battle-tested, 2 veteran coaches, and they do have a lot of similarities in comparison, particularly in their offensive numbers. The field goal percentages are almost identical. For Franklin, 44% shooting, Folsom 45. 3-ball shooting, Franklin 33, Folsom 32. Free throwing, Franklin 63 from the line, 62 from the foul line for Folsom. So based on those numbers, it would indicate a fairly even matchup and perhaps a close outcome in tonight's ball game. So we've got the table set beautifully here. The crowd, as I said, continuing to stream in, and we should have ourselves an excellent audience tonight. The winner of tonight's match will advance to semi-final round action coming up next week. So each victory of tremendous value in order to advance, and all these ball clubs hoping to get a shot at going to the big dance at Golden One Center 2 weekends from now. So it has been a rough ride for all these teams. They started back in November after summer ball and so forth, and now the section playoffs are culminating here with about another week or so. And then after that, the NorCal, and then we'll see who can make it to the state. As Lauren mentioned earlier, Folsom has that distinction of having participated in a state championship game where the water is very deep.
Well, these two teams know that it's going to take a battle to get to where they need to get to, but Folsom, like you spoke of, Will, they kind of already know what it expects and takes. That's why a lot of these young kids are even at this program right now.
Well, there's always key points to dwell on, to focus on, and to factor into your evaluation of the competition. Lauren Goodman, as usual, has charted some of those focal points in Goody's game at a glance.
Well, already seeing these two teams, I know that they need to play their type of style of basketball. Folsom has something that they want to do, play a little bit more tempo, get their guys out in transition, where on the other end, Franklin wants to execute more, take time, and get the ball into the right person's hand. On the other side, they're going to have to take care of the basketball late. We see in many playoff games, teams come down to the stretch and they turn the ball over too much. They're going to have to take care of the ball if they want to get to the next round. And then free throws. I've been seeing a lot of teams this season struggle with free throws, and so whoever can win this free throw battle tonight is going to have an advantage in winning the ball game.
And I did touch on that percentage-wise. 63% from the line for Franklin, 62 for Folsom. Nothing to write home about for either of them, but we'll see which ball club can remain poised and calm at the line tonight. Every point from here on out certainly of major importance and crucial to their team's success.
Well, they both have two players that can create fouls really well with their ability to tack to the basket. So if they can get fouls and get to the line and capitalize off it, we'll see how it works out.
Well, we're not far off from commencing this ball game. The warm-up period has elapsed, both teams going to their respective benches. And again, visiting Franklin, the 7 seed coming in against host Folsom, the number 2 seed. Number 2 behind Sheldon High in a very unusual turn of events. Sheldon seeded number 1, yet because of some infractionary scrutiny, you might say, by the section, they're going to have to play on the road during the entire playoffs.
Something that they kind of did to themselves, but if you're number 1 and you're handling business as Sheldon has been doing all year long, hopefully it'll continue to go their way.
We're going to come right back from this break, and at that point in time, we'll meet our starting lineups and then prepare ourselves for tonight's opening tip-off of the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Sensational rendition of our Star-Spangled Banner. Get that man's name. And a stirring way to open the competition for tonight's quarter-final round matchup in the CIF Sac-Joaquin section, Les Schwab Tires basketball playoffs. Number 7 seed Franklin coming in to play 2 seed Folsom. Franklin at 19-9 on the year, Folsom 24-5. Let's meet the starters, beginning with the visiting Franklin Wildcats. Leland Estacio, one of the top guards in this region. He's had great game after great game. He'll work in a 3-guard rotation with Junior Blackman and Davion Wright, the outstanding freshman. Martinez Reyes and Roberts complete their 5. Roberts will have to be serious on the boards tonight. The Cats come in their road black, trimmed in the deep purple as tonight's visitors, as they finished 8-4 in a tough Delta League during the course of the season, winning 8 of their last 9 games to place themselves here. And their opening round win at home against Grigori of Modesto, a 10-point win. And now for the host, Folsom Bulldogs under veteran head coach Mike Wall in his 12th season. They also open with a 3-guard rotation. Wall, Dylan Davis, and leading scorer Tyler Fears in that trio. Jalen Scott, the quiet senior, and the big fella, Deshaun Lynch, already highly heralded from a super football campaign and a state title, and now filling the bill in the post for the Bulldog basketball team, and I wouldn't want to try to defend him. 42 is a presence, and it's not just size. He's got terrific basketball skills, as you know, Lauren. and terrific footwork for a big guy.
Guy has a soft touch around the rim, and his ability to rebound and to be elusive around the inside and move his feet and all those type of things that he has together. You can tell that he is a well put together athlete that works on his game.
Well, a pair of officials from the NCOA will be in charge of keeping this game in order, led by referee Justin Reese, working in tandem with umpire Gary Workman. Folsom in their home whites, trimmed in royal blue and red. And as mentioned, the visiting Wildcats, black road unis in the deep purple. Roberts at 6'5", Lynch at 6'5", at center circle. We're ready to go. So fasten your seatbelts a little bit tighter. It's going to be a bumpy night as Folsom wins the opening tip, where it goes to Scott.
I like the man-to-man matchup by Franklin, saying they're not afraid to guard Folsom head up.
Good ball movement and patience early on. A long miss by Wall, but look who's there for the rebound. Put back, big time Lynch.
Right from the beginning, that elusiveness, I'm talking about his ability to move around the defenders and get good position to get a rebound.
Some token extended pressure. Reyes hands off. Blackman feeds the corner. Jay on the way. Down! Leland Estacio, 3-ball corner pocket. 3-2 Franklin. Fast break the other way. A layup cashed in sweetly off the left side glass. Knocked down by Davis.
You can tell already that Folsom wants to play a faster pace, push the tempo, and get out in transition.
Just underway, and nice to have you with us here for Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week. Down the baseline, again, snappy ball movement. Here comes Estacio, very slick, getting into the key. Jay on the way, a miss off the elbow and tapped out by Lynch, so the Cats have another try.
I'm interested to see how Folsom guards Estacio at this point. Right now they have just Wall on him, one-on-one matchup. We'll see if he can create some double teams because this kid can score.
Martinez Reyes, a miss. Nice board work by Roberts. Third chance now on this possession. Bulldogs staying in matchup looking zone. Estacio, lean in jumper, missed by the freshman Wright. 4-3 Folsom, and they've got the rock. Wall handling. Cameron Wall, coach's son. Davis to Fears, leading scorer. Now Lynch, defended by Roberts.
And immediately draws a double team. Good job by Franklin by identifying he can't get any easy shots.
Open daylight shooting, cashed in sweetly by Scott. 6-3 Folsom. A turnover. Ball awarded to Folsom. First turnover of the game belongs to Franklin. They cannot afford many of those tonight on the enemy floor.
No, they have to take care of the ball better, and now you see Folsom kind of Franklin switching into their matchup zone.
Underneath, nice dish by Lynch in midair as he dumped it off to Scott for the 2.
Lynch's presence just in the inside, he gravitates so much attention, but he has the ability to pass as well as put on the floor.
Wow, Estacio broke down the D and dumped it to Roberts for the easy bucket. Beautiful. 8-5. Folsom up 3 here. We played almost 4 minutes here, nearing midway first. Franklin also showing 2-3 zone. To the post, Lynch, wheel and deal. Woo, Daddy.
Too much size, too much speed in the middle, and they're trying to force feed the guy the ball.
10-5. Bulldogs on top. Working free and easy. Back cut. Tough luck. That was wide open. And Wright pulled the string and shot an air ball. Here's a turnover as Estacio comes up with it. Each team with one turnover. Baseline jumper, missed by Wright. He follows up, and they reload.
Davion Wright has gotten some good shots, and you see Coach Manfredi on the sideline still encouraging because there haven't been bad shots. He just hasn't found the right one to go in the basket.
His pass deflected out. Well, 5 players on this Folsom team have distinguished themselves by playing in all 29 prior games. Rose, Wall, Davis, Spears, and Scott. Veterans that have the endurance and the reliability. And in game action now, a foul called against Folsom's Cameron Wall as he swiped at Estacio. There you see our opposing coaches, Manfredi, and there's Mike Wall. Non-shooting. Estacio takes the inbound. Martinez Reyes, competent 3-ball shooter, but mainly a distributor. Oh, brother. Blackman called for a foul on the contact with Wall.
And that was kind of player control or out of control, but good defensive position. I'm going to say push off maybe, but that was good hustle by Wall to get the possession back to Folsom.
Wall feeds inside, off the bench for a quick bucket, making his presence known. Binder Pallane for 2.
Folsom's doing a good job of moving the basketball around right now. Multiple scores.
Turnover, Franklin carrying the rock, says our game umpire, Gary Workman. Second turnover on Franklin, as you see Coach Ken Manfredi up off that Wildcat bench.
Coach Manfredi super positive right now, reinforcing his teams with hand claps, just keeping them motivated to play in the game. The game is not by far over, and that positive energy is a ripple effect of how he wants to lead his program.
Rose into the ball game wearing number 1. Jay on the way, drained beautifully that time. Oh, net Dylan Davis with the tray. 15-5, largest lead. Back comes Estacio. And a whistle and a foul against the Cats. Manfredi up off the bench onto the court, wondering why with palms raised.
Didn't see what Estacio did, but again, he's the type of player that likes to create contact. Therefore, you might get a little lean in or push off to get to that position. So we should watch this foul count and how they foul go on him tonight.
Malik Rose, just a freshman, and he is dynamite, averaging about 8 points a game off the Bulldog bench, and super speed. Tough shot forced. Lynch out battles 2 Wildcats, and the Bulldogs reload.
And that's his second offensive rebound, Will. He's helping the Folsom Bulldogs be in a prime position to take over this game right now as they have a 10-point lead.
Pallane, wild miss off the glass, and here's an on-the-run rebound from Estacio. 1-on-2, split him, and lay it home. Leland Estacio.
Leland Estacio showing why he's so good at scoring.
Wow! Full speed. That was about as quick as it gets on the hoop there from Scott. Back to a 10-point cushion. Final minute 40 of the first. Wright, the freshman, bumped, and a foul called apparently on Malik Rose, giving away about 6 inches.
Oh, well, I want to see this matchup all night. This is the matchup I've been looking for. Davion Wright, the freshman from Franklin, going against Malik Rose, the freshman from Folsom. These are the 2 top freshmen in the city by far. And these 2 matching up tonight is going to be probably one of the most intense matchups in between the game.
Cummings also into the ball game for the Bulldogs. He wears number 4. So Rose and Cummings. Estacio, a miss on a flat foot jumper. Roberts has a shot rejected after his offensive board. Up the floor, Folsom playing smooth here at the outset, up 10. Lynch, foul line jumper, banked home. I don't think he intended that, but it's worth 2. He's in for half a dozen. Folsom shooting a tremendous field goal percentage right now. Haven't been many misses.
And now Folsom stays in this matchup zone. It's creating a lot of trouble for the Wildcats because you can't truly see where the help side is coming from. And Coach Wall is looking on right now. It was a lot of hand checking in that last possession on Estacio, making sure that he has no clear opportunities to get buckets.
Foul called on Scott. 3rd team foul on the Bulldogs, non-shooting. Baseline left. Lob broken up by Lynch and stolen. It's a turnover. Transition layup. Easy money, Malik Rose.
Malik Rose is one of the fastest kids we've seen probably this season.
Estacio through the pressure. Wright, a miss, his 3rd miss. They need his scoring badly. He's coming off a 28-point performance in the opening round. Lynch loses the rock, but it goes directly to a teammate, missing the chippy Jalen Scott.
And Jalen Scott picks up Estacio.
Well, Estacio just turned Scott inside out on that play and drew another quick foul on him. He's going to come out of the game as Fears re-enters.
Well, that was the 3rd or 4th person that they put on Estacio because they understand last game had 26 big-time points, and this kid has been scoring lights out all season. So they're going to do a combination of efforts to guarding Estacio.
Well, inbound under the bucket. Roberts a kick out. Blackman retreats and puts it on top there. Martinez Reyes picks up the dribble. Shot clock winding down. Jay on the way. And there is the end of the first quarter as Folsom jumps out 21-7 with 9 field goals in that opening quarter. Now, though they haven't played each other for better than 8 years, Lauren, they have played some of the same teams, common opponents. And here's how it shakes out.
Well, Granite Bay, Oak Ridge, 2 tough common opponents. Folsom going on a sweep, and then Franklin splitting with the 2 teams. But now on the other hand, they also had common opponents, Pleasant Grove and Whitney, and on that hand, Franklin went with the sweep, and Folsom ended up splitting.
Well, there's some indicators there. But right now, the biggest indicators on the scoreboard after 8 minutes of play, a terrific first quarter at home for the 2-seed Folsom Bulldogs.
They came out and had a tremendous first quarter. They played on all cylinders. They had a combination of guys who contributed to that, even guys off the bench. This is why they've been so successful this season in getting that 2 spot. But they came out and did what they wanted to do. Now Franklin's job is to respond.
There's part of an ever-growing crowd here as spectators traveling through cold, rainy conditions around the Sacramento area, but I'll guarantee you it is hot in here and warming up as I speak. Here's Estacio now with his club down 14 entering the second. He is the defensive focal point of Folsom, on him like a rash. Here he comes down the slot, kick to the corner. Blackman has a shot blocked out of bounds, so the Wildcats will keep it with 14 on the shot clock. Left baseline inbound from Blackman. And a miss off that inbound. Johnson with a miss, and a fast break layup by Fears at the other end makes him pay.
It can't happen. Franklin has to have one back every time because Folsom wants to play fast, and they actually have a leaker back.
23-7. Wright, the freshman, penetrates and kicks back out. This defense has stymied the Wildcats offense.
Oh, this extended pressure beyond the three-point line. Matchup zone really working well for the Folsom Bulldogs right now.
Johnson tied up. Lynch defending. The freshman right fouled on the drive, and he'll shoot 2. Lynch had the biggest reaction.
Well, fouls on Lynch, so of course you're going to have the most reaction. But I like Davion Wright just being confident and trying to create something and get into the rack. Just a little swipe on the wrist. Anything, if you reach over, they're going to call a foul, Lynch.
First foul on Lynch, 15 foul. This one will be a shooting foul, and these are crucial free throws for Davion Wright, trying to get into the scoring column, and does. Substitution. Back in Dylan Davis, taking a seat. Gerald Cummings.
Well, Dylan Davis came out on fire in that first quarter, just moving the basketball, looking for a shot very aggressively.
So Wright, who on the season is a 68% free thrower, drops a pair, pulls the Wildcats within 23-9. Lynch off balance, fouled by Johnson.
Oh, this kid knows how to take up space, use his body to his advantage. He almost works down there like a David Robinson, real patient on the block, but then he uses speed to his advantage to get to the bucket.
Deshaun Lynch at the stripe, and number 1 is a miss. Here's how the play occurred, as we see the entry pass nicely done, and on the arm there, Johnson fouling Lynch.
When you're guarding a player of this stature, you got to just stay straight up from the beginning, no loafing, no having your hands down, and then it makes the shot difficult.
0 for 2, nice jump in there by both players, but Johnson pulls the board for the Wildcats. Estacio beats Fears down the floor, stop and go, and layup down!
Kid can score with will.
7 for Estacio, 7 of their 11. Wall to Lynch. Early second quarter. Happy to have you with us for the Access Sacramento Hometown Sports Game of the Week. Lynch drives and barrels over a defender for a charge.
And you see the whole Franklin bench up right now. Even Coach Manfredi really ecstatic about that play, because here that's what he's trying to teach his kids. Stay in there. Blackman does a good job of taking the charge.
Well, Lynch will have to sit down. That is a huge adjustment, as Coach Wall has to pluck his starting postman. And now he is sitting the bench.
Advantage goes to Folsom. Advantage goes to Franklin, but you see Folsom came out immediately in the extended pressure with more guys who can play up tempo.
Estacio wraps it, kicks out. Jay on the way. Blackman down. 3 ball from straight away. Feisty Franklin coming back now within 9. Wall misses the drive after a quick first step. Fears a pass to no one in particular, but Wall comes up with it.
I like the second effort by Wall. He knew it was a miss, then went and got the offensive rebound. Now he's back with his team, another possession.
Scott to Bender, now Wall straight away. Short J, mid-range game, a miss there by Scott. Snap it ahead, fast break layup, down! Wright cashes in, nice feed from Blackman, time out taken by Folsom as the Cats pull within 7.
And that's the thing about this game. It's full of peaks and runs, and you're going to be in the valley at some moment, as Franklin did, but now they're responding and they woke up to the game. Good adjustment by Coach Manfredi and his crew, getting his team back into the ball game. Now Coach Wall is probably in his team's grill right now about how they need to be better in responding to the Franklin run.
Well, here's how the Cats got back into it with consecutive buckets. Estacio first with the left-handed flip. That started the burst. Now here he is. Penetrate and kick out. Blackman left wide open and kills a 3. And then the third of 3. Nice vision ahead for the right layup from Blackman.
Franklin's 3 impact guys, 3 buckets. Now they're on a run. 3 consecutive buckets. Now they're on a run. This is time for Folsom to respond.
23-16. Wall looks left, looks right. Now Fears wide open, misses short. Up for the rebound, right. And they're going to call it a turnover. The ball was apparently kicked out, according to people on that Franklin bench, by Wall, but it was last touched evidently by the freshman Wright.
Wright dribbled it off his foot, just not looking first and trying to dribble and attack. Just needs to be a little bit more patient because he needs to value possessions like that. You can't turn the ball over 94 feet from your basket.
4 turnovers on Franklin. We're nearing midway second. Things have tightened up after Folsom broke out to a 14-point lead after the first quarter. Davis, well defended there. Transition ahead. Super speed layup down.
Blackman being aggressive, picking up a quick 7 in this quarter. That's what they needed to create their spark.
Since Lynch has left the ball game with foul trouble, it has really opened things up for Franklin.
Oh, you see a totally different Franklin ball club right now. They're playing fast-paced. They're looking for their guys. Probably wanted that possession back, kind of slowing down. But Franklin has found a rhythm right now where they're playing on all cylinders and their top guys. But Lynch, you see right now, coming back into the ball game because Coach Wall can't let this get out of control. He knows his advantage is size, and Lynch brings all the power in the middle.
The 14-point deficit has been chopped to 5, but the Cats turned it over. Open J from the elbow is buried by Jalen Scott. He's in for 4 buckets for 8. A stop the bleeding basket for the Bulldogs. Wright zigzagging on Wall. A kick out to Blackman. Not this time, and Lynch tracks down a long rebound. Wide open baseline air ball shot by Rose. Nothing doing. Estacio through 5 defenders. It's slapped away out of bounds, but it will belong to the Wildcats.
Coach trying to get a timeout right now so he can get a play executed on the inbound. I like this timeout right here, Will.
It comes at the 3:12 mark on the flip side of quarter number 2, and as you can see by the change in the pace in this game, things are heating up here at Folsom High School. Well, large part of the credit for Franklin's success belongs to their vaunted 1-2 scoring punch, and it is a super punch.
Well, these hot shots sparked the Wildcats in the last 7 games. They've been major, taking big wins against Sheldon, other big opponents as well in the Delta League. Then they blasted Grigori in the last barrel win of the playoffs. These 2 names, Leland Estacio and Davion Wright, they carry the load. Estacio coming in with 26 points. He's at 10 from 12 from the field goal. That's efficiency like no other. And then even for Davion Wright, 10 for 17, that's 2 productive nights and getting double digits, totaling in for over 50 points.
Well, Ken Manfredi's ball club will need all of that tonight. On the season, Estacio averaging better than 16 and Wright better than 15 a game. Estacio's pass broken up, taken on the run by Rose. Turnover number 6 on the Wildcats. Near breakup by Blackman. Foul line Jay, a clunker, but there's Lynch. Spin and knock down another defender, and that's 2 ball control fouls on Lynch.
Oh, he was powering down, Will.
3 for the game.
This is a power move, power move. Now, we talked about this last time, Will. We talked about this last time with him. It's based off the officiating, okay? The last time we saw he made all of these strong moves, not one offensive foul called against him. So tonight you're seeing a different officiating crew taking care of the game and kind of judging him a little bit different than the other refs may have.
Well-made point right there. Judgment by the officials determining who is crossing the line and committing the foul. 3 fouls on Lynch. He's out of the ball game here with 2:25 to go in the half. Asasio pressured hard. Bad pass. Turnover number 7.
Him just trying to create something on that last play. Not only is he a good scorer, but he is a good passer, and sometimes his teammates aren't ready for what he's probably thinking in his head.
Caleb Hirsch into the ball game for Folsom, wearing number 10. Into the post. There he is. Hirsch left open, shoots an air ball out of bounds to the Bulldogs.
Coach
also into the contest, R.J. Smith, 35, the other big fella.
Coach Manfredi kind of shaking his head on that last play. Probably thought it was off the Bulldogs, but he needs to just have his team grab the ball and secure it.
Coach Wall, you see there, not all that happy himself. 2-minute mark, late second quarter, 25-18. Folsom on top. A near travel, but not called. Davis a miss. Uncontested rebound, right, zigzagging up the floor. Pull up Jay, down.
Kid's mid-range jumper is nice, Will. I was talking to you about it prior to. He has a really nice pull-up game, and we see it there.
25-20. Again, Franklin within 5. Travel and a turnover. Correction. The big fella picks up the foul, R.J. Smith, 35, a clear out. And right now, Folsom is the club that is teetering a little bit, not showing that real smooth rhythm they had in the first quarter.
Folsom is a very deep team, though. They've already went into their bench 10, 12 deep, so coach has a lot of options to use.
Blackman to Estasio. All the way across court, jump shot, a miss. Good effort by Roberts to create the loose ball and the tie-up. Possession arrow to Franklin. A correction to Folsom.
Good hustle play right now. Franklin is beating Folsom in all the 50-50 plays, Will.
Right now, probably the biggest individual focal point is the 3 fouls on Lynch of Folsom. Fears to Scott. Now Dylan Davis, a runner off the glass. No rebounding foul called. Evidently against Franklin. So less than a minute remaining here in the half. As you see Davis come out of the ball game for Folsom, entering the contest for the Bulldogs. Another substitute off Mike Wall's bench. The freshman Shackelford. Here's a run out, but chased down by Fears. Call it another turnover.
And hopefully Estasio stays away from picking up another foul unnecessarily right there.
8 turnovers against Franklin. The elbow jumper left short, and Blackman is bumped by Shackelford for the foul. Want to remind you, all the NFHS audience looking on and the cable TV audience, that Lauren Goodman will be interviewing the head coaches of these teams during the halftime intermission. But right now, Blackman to the stripe. He's been a spark for Franklin. Now with 19 fouls, bonus free throwing upcoming for Blackman, and he will get the bonus. He's had a solid quarter, 6 points, all of it coming here in the second quarter. And that trims the deficit to 4, closest they've been, 1 out of 2. 25-21, 20 seconds to go in the half. Shackelford, the freshman, just promoted to the varsity, and he draws a foul. It's Malik Johnson picking up the foul, his second. And he's going to come out of the ball game with a little bit of a limp. Cameron Wall back in for Folsom. So Cummings comes out, Rose comes out for the Bulldogs, but they'll inbound. It'll be Wall from the right baseline, 12.5 seconds left. Dylan Davis, a miss from deep range. Tough rebound yanked down there. Here come the Wildcats. 6 seconds. Estacio surrounded by 3 defenders, taken away by Wall. Fears misses a bank at the halftime buzzer. And what an exciting first half it was, after it looked like the first quarter blitz issued by Folsom was going to turn this ball game into a laugher. Nothing could be further from the truth. Just a 4-point edge now held by Folsom, 25-21. Just a 4-point quarter for the hosts tonight, while Franklin flipped their script and had a big second quarter. A well-played, rapidly played first quarter, and this is a quarterfinal round matchup here. The winner tonight gets a ticket punched to the semifinal round, and I believe Lauren Goodman is standing by at floor level with a special guest. Lauren?
Well, Coach, your team didn't come out the way you wanted to, but you guys had a tremendous spark in the second half. Can you talk to me about what happened to your team and created that spark?
We just kind of got settled down. I mean, we came out and, you know, we missed a lot of outside shots, and we weren't as aggressive getting to the basket. And defensively, I mean, they got runouts in transition, and it kind of put us on our heels. I mean, they did a good job and forced us to, you know, kind of clean things up at the end of the first quarter and just kind of get back to, you know, playing hard and just really focus on getting stops. And it took a little pressure off us, and the guys responded really, really well. So.
Coach, now it's just a 4-point game, but what is the conversation like when you go in and talk to your team right now at half?
Don't let the foot off the gas right now. I mean, that's what got us going in the second quarter, is let our defense be a spark and let our offense come within. And the first quarter, we just were forcing a little bit, and it should be a good second half.
Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Will.
Thank you, Lauren. Well, positivity, encouragement, and optimism shown by Coach Manfredi. A 14-4 second quarter domination pulled them back in it. So we got a long way to go in this quarterfinal round matchup here on Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week. Stay with us.
Maria, so how's work?
It was fourth period biology. Our students just weren't getting how easily viruses spread. So Miss Bell and I had them role play a zombie virus outbreak. By the time they had all learned the lesson, all the living were dead. Hey, how's your job going?
That big sales meeting I planned? Next year, I might get to go.
Cool. Your son wants to get a cat, but you're allergic. Do you A, prepare yourself, B, make the best of it,
C squared equals 25.
Good job!
or C, find a loophole? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
Welcome back to Bulldog Gym here on the campus of Folsom High School for Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week. It just happens to be a quarterfinal round playoff in the 2019 edition of the CIF Sac-Joaquin section Les Schwab Tires basketball playoffs. And what a turnaround from the first quarter to the second, Lauren.
Well, it was a fantastic time talking to Coach Manfredi about his team's spark, because he was absolutely right. They started playing defense, buckling down. They got those fouls on Lynch, 2 big ones that got him out of the ball game, and then now we see a 4-point game.
Well, those were even bigger than big. It completely changed the entire defensive presence of Folsom to have the big guy out of there, and it's quite clear how much he means to them. So he's riding with 3 fouls, and certainly no assurance that he'll start the second half either.
No, it's not, and this is crucial for Folsom. I can't wait to talk to Coach Wall on the other side, because he is moving his offense around Lynch. Both of these teams, Franklin hasn't had a star in a while, so they've been playing collectively as a team. But this year, we're seeing a totally different Folsom team, and Coach is really finding a way to coach this type of group and these guys. He's usually had stars or a combination of stars to carry the load. But these two teams play very similar, Will. They need to execute, they need to be patient, and they run their offense through a multitude of guys who feel it. They don't have takeover guys. So with Lynch being in the game, he has more of a dominant presence, and you can kind of feed on him to guarantee a bucket. Right now, he's out of their scheme and out of their offense, so it kind of changes how Folsom has been playing for the last 29 games.
No question about it, and I'm quite sure we saw some players take the floor off the Folsom bench here in that second quarter that really Coach Wall was not intending to use at that point in time. Well, let's crunch some of the scoring numbers here in the first half. Individually speaking, Blackman, a big 8-point second quarter to top Franklin. 7 for Estacio, who is being surrounded on virtually every play. 4 points for slow starting Davion Wright. If he gets going, look out. And a deuce for Jalen Roberts. Not much free throwing in the first half. 3 out of 4 for Franklin to complete their scoring run. For Folsom, they were paced 8 points. Jalen Scott on 4 buckets, 3 of them mid-range jumpers. Dylan Davis gave him 5, including a 3-ball, half a dozen for Lynch before the foul trouble. And 2 points each off the bench, Malik Rose and Bender Pallane, 2 apiece. And usually high-scoring Tyler Fears, the team's leading scorer, limited to just a 2-point total in the first half. 0 for 2 from the Folsom foul line.
Again, Will, it's that defense that Coach Manfredi talked about. They are so much in the help side. You talk about looking for a team or wanting your team to run man-to-man defense with the weak side just as strong as the ball side. They're almost running perfect defense right now. Every time Folsom puts the ball on the deck, they are coming back. They have a person in help. That's why they got those 2 quick charges by Blackman, because he was in the weak side help position. That is the proper place you're supposed to be on the defensive end.
Nice breakdown, Coach. Well, we see Franklin's team coming back out onto the floor and moving very slowly. Stamina and endurance is going to be a huge factor in this second half, and it will be interesting to see who has more in the tank down the stretch.
Oh, it's very interesting, Will, and that's a point that we're going to have to watch all in the second half, because Leland Estacio is a scoring machine. So will fatigue play a factor in him and how his ability is to score, or will he wear down the Folsom Bulldogs and start seeing gaps that he probably didn't see in that first quarter?
Time will tell, and not very much time, as about 1:20 left for warm-ups during the intermission. Folsom still has yet to come back from the locker room. Evidently an extended dissertation from Coach Mike Wall.
Oh, we know Coach Wall is giving him probably an earful. I'm about to actually head down right now so I can probably get some gabbing with him, because I know he's probably going to his team directly in what he needs right now.
The largest lead in the ball game by Folsom, 16 points. The first basket of the second quarter boosted that 14-point lead at the break to a 16-point edge. So for Franklin to come back to within 25-21, they trimmed 12 off that and climbed out of a deep trench. Let's see how it goes from here, as we now see the first of the Folsom ball players coming back in to the court area with just a few seconds remaining and virtually no warm-up time left on the clock here for host Folsom. So might want to wonder about that one. They too look slow in coming out. Lots of energy expended in a rigorous first half. Up and down, swarming defensive pressure. We will indeed see who's got more in the tank. Officials checking both sidelines as both clubs now take the floor. It'll be the same starting five for both outfits. And Franklin will have first possession. Blackman to inbound, near sideline, near midcourt. Tosses it into Estacio, and we'll see what changes may have been orchestrated. Probing that zone. Roberts inside on Lynch. Misses a wide open layup. Lynch didn't even bother to play any defense. A breakup and a steal. Quick hands there. Transition. The freshman right hits a lean-in jumper off balance after he had lost the handle. At the other end, fast break layup missed by Scott. Rebounded by the Wildcats. The lead is 2, 25-23 into the post. They're trying to work on Lynch. Another air ball shot from short distance. The strategy correct, the execution ineffective. Wall to Davis. Now Fears straightens up and fires away. Misses a three. That's not his game. Whistle and a foul involving Lynch and Roberts. And they're going to call Roberts.
Coach Manfredi is thinking the same thing, Will.
Wow, Jalen Roberts. Ooh, daddy. First foul on the 6'5" junior. Non-shooting. Wall to inbound. Baseline right for the Bulldogs. Tried to get it into Lynch, and it was kicked out of there by Roberts. This game getting very, very...
Yeah, well, now I know why Coach Wall, all you needed the whole time during halftime, to talk to his team. 4-point quarter, not really what they wanted, and then haven't really responded yet to this Franklin run.
So Wall comes back to get the handoff from Fears and start the offense. We're early here in the third, 6:40 to go. Lynch falls down, but he's laying out of bounds as he touches it, and it's a turnover on the Bulldogs. They had just one in the first half and have picked up 2 here in the first 90 seconds.
We're looking at a whole lot of Wildcats fans coming in more to the game, and the Wildcats on a run right now that Folsom just can't seem to respond to.
You can see there head coach Mike Wall not happy with his ball club's execution. Corner Jay on the way right. Down! 3 ball, and that is a Franklin lead.
Youngster is not playing right now, coming out playing very aggressive.
Cameron Wall answers back, and we get a little seesaw. (27-26). Folsom by 1 after surrendering the lead just moments before. And I think Wright is relaxed now. He's got 5 in the quarter, 9 for the game.
Oh, he's taking his time, and his jumper is really sweet as you see him shooting another one there.
Short on that one. Fears pushing. Shoves out a forearm against the defense. And here's Scott. Shot blocked by Blackman. Loose ball. And Lynch wrestles it away from one of the Wildcats. Here's Dylan Davis, a miss. Scott boards it. Return shot. Down. Jalen Scott.
Jalen Scott coming with a big-time bucket right there, right on time for the Folsom Bulldogs. And it was a tough play. They needed some of those plays to show that they could play as tough as Franklin, because this Franklin Ball Club is battle-tested. They play in the strongest league in the city, strongest top league in the state.
They're from the Delta League. Here comes Wright. Inside feed. Shot missed on a partial block by Fears from the blind side.
Fears got in there right on time for the weak side help, right when they needed it. But right now, Folsom needs to respond with a basket in their executed offense so that they can still have confidence in what they do.
Cameron Wall drives it. We got a whistle and a foul somewhere. Both coaches showing emotion.
Oh, these are 2 charismatic coaches who've been around for a while. They know each other very well. As they talk prior to the game, have a really good relationship. But these 2 coaches are very energetic and very enthusiastic, as we see Coach Walls right now looking on at his program and trying to bring some intensity and toughness to his guys.
Energetic, yes, that's an interesting description. Certainly they are. Wall, a miss. The foul was on Estacio. Let's see if we can spot it.
And let's see how this happened here. Wall kind of just found a gap and attacked. Oh, yeah, and Estacio slapped him right on the hand. Easy bucket. Don't reach on the strong side drive. He's supposed to be helping in the corner anyway, taking away the shooter, so he can't be on that fouling, getting a reach foul for reaching in.
Wall misses the pair, and Estacio tracks down the rebound. On the season, just a 50% free thrower. Missed them both. Estacio in front of Lynch. It wobbles out. Fears has it, looks ahead to Jalen Scott, who tracks it down. Fears steps back, misses short. Rebound right. More transition by the Wildcats. Hesitation, running Jay down.
His pull-up jumper is just a little bit better, and you see it right there. Why?
Fears in traffic, a miss. Flat foot rebound, Estacio. Wildcats have the rock, down by 1. Midway third at the 4-minute mark, a tap out, but Franklin will have the rock.
And now the big 2 we talked about earlier, Estacio and Wright, you can tell they have a phenomenal connection right now as they're playing on the court. Estacio kind of just being the point guard and letting the light of the double team come to him, and he's setting up Davion Wright for some good shots.
A breakup, look out, a run out by a speed merchant guard, and Rose sticks it in easily for his 4th point off the turnover.
Rose is a speed demon they need. I think these 2 right here with the top combinations are their fastest 2 guards in the game right now for Folsom, and they need their speed to turn over some defensive turnovers.
Blackman, who was a spark in that second quarter comeback, a tap away, but it's a reach-in foul on Cummings.
It was an easy call. I know he probably thought he had that one on a clean rip, but he reached across the body on that last foul, and it's an easy call for the ref right in front of him.
Non-shooting. The Wildcats will inbound near side. Martinez Reyes will do the inbounding when the ref hands it over. Wildcats down 3. Trying to draw close, tie, or even go ahead. Estacio through 3 defenders to the corner. A deflection, but grabbed by Blackman, and they reload.
And that's who I'm waiting right there, Martinez Reyes. He hasn't got a shot or a shot attempt yet, as they call a travel on that last play.
Well, that was an interesting call. It turns out to be turnover number 10.
And the Folsom cheering section is loving it. As we see on the other side, even Franklin has a few of their students out here in their student section.
Flip side of quarter number 3 at the 3:05. Cummings sends it straight away to Scott. Quick first step, and it's going to be a charge on Rose.
Blackman's 3rd charge pickup. Is seeing a lot of toughness from him right now, just sacrificing his body, getting in the right position. He's outside of the key, taking position, trying to get in the help. And you see on the end, he throws up 3 for his 3rd charge.
Second foul of the half on Folsom, both teams with 2 fouls. Estacio inside, that's his bread and butter, but he missed the open look. Crashed the board, and it's going to be awarded to Folsom, probably last touched by Blackman.
Yeah, and you can tell that the fouls are affecting even how Lynch moves on the court. He plays so physical. He plays just to clear people out, that football mentality. But now he can't even jump and explode for a rebound because there's 3 Franklin guys on him every time. And then when he jumps, he may get pushed for an offensive foul.
Malik Rose to Scott. 2:30 to go. Late 3rd, anybody's game, low scoring. The defenses have been tough, and we got a whistle on the Lynch move inside. Probably Roberts will get clipped on this.
Yeah, that was an easy call, bump on the back. But I know Coach Manfredi's kind of upset. We could get a replay. This kid's feet are amazing. I cannot discredit his footwork. Whoever the football coaches are that have worked with this kid, they are putting a lot of time into his ability to move his feet. And right there, he just got a good position. He took the bump on the first hit, puts it back on the floor, and gets to the free throw line.
After missing a pair of free throws in the first half, he connects on that one, and here's how he got up to the line.
Good position. Puts the ball on the ground, goes straight up after the gallop.
Not much there to dissuade this 6'5", 275-pound star. 2 out of 2. 33-28, back to a 5-point cushion.
And credit to Franklin holding him to no buckets before those 2 free throws. So he still hasn't created a bucket, but hasn't scored since the first quarter.
Estacio wiggles inside and banks it home.
Estacio doing what he does best, getting him with the spin move and getting to the bucket.
33-30, Bulldogs by 3. Anyone's game here. This is intense as what we thought it would be. Whistle and a foul on the baseline jumper by Scott. I guess Estacio's going to get clipped for his 3rd foul.
Just giving him no space to come down. Estacio got to be smarter. Again, that's what I'm talking about. Those 2 last fouls weren't smart fouls that he picked up. And now he's in a position where he has 3 fouls. Best believe Franklin has to make an adjustment right now and making sure he doesn't pick that 4th one up too early.
Scott flat on number 1. The Bulldogs are not a good free throw shooting ball club.
Now Stacio's playing good defense, but he doesn't let him come down. Just let him come down. And that miss is going to get you a weak side rebound, as you see Coach Manfredi pulls him out so he doesn't get in jeopardy of picking that 4th foul up.
Short again. Scott missed a pair, just a 52% free thrower.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. It was inverted horn, and then
reset for 30.
Yeah, some stuff was going on. I knew that was coming. But that's unfortunate because table mishaps now slows down Franklin. Maybe they could have pushed in transition and got an easy bucket. That's always a frustration as a coach.
Martinez Reyes to inbound near side, shoves it into Blackman with 1:52 to go here in the 3rd. 3-point Folsom lead. Stop and go, dump low. Wow.
Oh.
They're going to call right for throwing an elbow.
Now, I've threw a few elbows in my day, Will. And that was a nice, nice elbow throw. As you see the fans from Franklin kind of upset about that last call.
Rose bounce pass to Fears, muscles inside, misses short. Lynch taps it, but the Cats control. Blackman running it down.
And even though I know right now Coach Wall is like not happy with his team, they still have a 3-point lead. Haven't lost the lead in this quarter, so they're playing consistent enough to maintain the lead. Yeah, easy call. Easy call.
Cummings picks up foul number 2, non-shooting. Just the third team foul on Folsom. Blackman working against Fears. Here's Wright now. Trouble, but a missed jumper there, and Lynch rebounds.
Oh, Lynch took authority down when he grabbed that rebound. But you see right here, this is the matchup I want to see. Wright winning the matchup right now, but Rose not being able to get an opportunity to really get in.
Corner jumper missed. Lynch
is not even going for offensive rebound right now. He can't, because he can't jeopardize picking up that 4th foul.
40 seconds to go. Strip away, but it goes to Martinez-Reyes. Into the post. Johnson wheels on Lynch. A miss. Tapped up, and we got a whistle.
And Johnson wanting that bucket back. That was a good one-on-one play. I like the no call and allowing Lynch to size up and go and score, but I like the Johnson's ability going at him, and Coach Manfredi is not liking that last call.
Blackman called for the foul, his second. Rose out. Cummings will get the inbound from Wall as Scott re-enters for Folsom. And Lynch will take a seat.
Coach Manfredi giving him the earful right now on that sideline. And I love how he just sat down on the bench so he could talk to him right how he wanted to, as they're going to have a conversation as he's going back down the court right now.
He's hot. So Wall sends it on the left side. Scott has played steady for the Bulldogs. This is Cummings.
And still, I got to admire the patience from the Bulldogs, just taking their time, executing the offense, waiting until they get the right shot.
8 seconds left. Cummings down the baseline. Delane, here's Wall. A clunker. And a buzzer ending the 3rd quarter, and this still remains anyone's game. 33-30 Folsom. Don't wander off. This one's going into the 4th. We'll be right back.
Bye-bye. Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Well, cinch your seatbelt a little tighter now as we enter the 4th quarter here at Folsom High School with Lauren Goodman. I'm Will James, and this is quarterfinal round action of the CIF Sac-Joaquin section Les Schwab Tires basketball playoffs. Wall to Scott, back cut and a kick to disrupt the play, so they'll start over. The Bulldogs will inbound baseline right. Cameron Wall to do the honors. Back cut Scott, and he lays it home over Blackman. Well-designed play.
Well designed. Good execution out of the quarter break for Folsom. That's what they needed.
Back to a 5-point cushion for Folsom. 35-30. Back cut of their own. Feed, and Johnson sticks it in on the baseline feed from right.
Oh, I like that. And you see no contest from Lynch because of those foul trouble.
Cummings roll it into Scott. Now back to Fears. Just underway here in the fourth. Fears got it. A deep deuce. That is his second field goal. Just 4 for the team's leading scorer.
And this is what I want to see, Estacio on the one-on-one.
He takes it inside, draws a foul, but the bucket wobbled out.
Good foul. I like the drive, but I like him on a one-on-one. Now he has to get into rotation right now. Not his normal scoring night because of obviously the double teams and the extra attention. But now it's time for him to take over as the big-time senior.
Well, there's a good close-up of this outstanding senior who's had a stellar year and drops the free throw. Let's see how he worked himself to the foul line.
And this is what he's a mastermind at. He knows how to use his body to his advantage. He creates, and he can go either way, so he puts the ball on the deck, trying to go left, come back right, and creates the contact.
2 for 2 from the line. 37-34. Again, the Wildcats back within 3.
Let me tell you, Will, right now, for it to go the Wildcats' way, they're going to have to get a stop right now and kind of lynch this closer to a bucket.
Fears trying to make something out of nothing. He's wild all over the court, and he's going to come out of the game. Mike Wall just furious up along that Bulldog bench.
Easy call, dragging his foot, and he understands each possession as he's talking to him right now. Immediately, you can't turn the basketball over right now in this last 6 minutes, especially for my best player.
2-1-2 full court, but flimsy. Here's Estacio into the front.
Very flimsy because Franklin's handle presses all year long.
Gee whiz. Wall bumped hard into Estacio. Now they're going to call a foul on Wright and the Wildcats.
And I don't know about that one, Will. Folsom is kind of falling immediately, if you can say. Falling before, not a good position there. He should have continued just going left and decided to try to go to the Euro step. But again, I'm just saying Folsom's kind of falling before they're creating that contact. And I think the Estacio one made him pay attention to the next one.
Cummings on the point. Lines one up and misses long. Martinez-Reyes. Rebound. And the Cats have another shot to chip into that 3-point deficit. Long way to go. Still 5:45 left.
Yeah, long way to go, but I'll tell you right now, I wish Martinez-Reyes would probably get a bucket right here because...
Wow!
But it comes from Johnson, right on time. They needed somebody else to score. Too much scoring from Wright and Estacio, making the defense really stagnant. When you get those other players involved, you get easy buckets like that.
After the miss, Estacio had the off-balance tip in. Again, the Wildcats now within 1. Wall left open, but passes up on the shot. 5:12 to go. Cummings to Wall. Looking hungry, misses the layup. Slapped out of there by Lynch, who leaps and grabs. And we got a whistle and a foul. And that Wildcat bench is completely disrupted in visual protest.
Man, Freddie's behind the bench, arms up in antics like, what else am I supposed to do right now?
Third foul on freshman Davion Wright, whose 7-point outburst in the third quarter really tightened things up.
And I just say right here, I know Franklin is upset and wish it probably went their way, but you mismanage bad calls or you handle bad calls when you just box out. 3 bodies around Lynch and he still got the ball.
Lynch misses front end of 1-and-1. They have shot poorly from the line tonight. Estacio speeds in, misses. Lynch boards it and sends it ahead to Fears. slapped away by Blackman, who hustled back for the strip.
Oh, Blackman hustled his behind off and got back on that one. You talk about getting back on defense right now, and you talk about hustle plays and intangible. Blackman has been a representation of that for Franklin tonight.
Wall will inbound baseline right for the Bulldogs here at the 4:48 mark. Comes out high to Fears, who hands it back to Wall.
One possession right now could go either way. Folsom needs to execute and take their time and get a bucket. Franklin, on the other hand, needs to get a defensive stop.
Left open, Dylan Davis, a miss. Estacio boards it. Huge possession for Franklin, down one here, nearing midway fourth. What a courageous ball club all season long, hanging in there against the #2 seed on the road.
Battle tested is all I can say about this Franklin team, and they've been here before, and they know how to depend on each other, as well as responding when they didn't have all of their guys.
Right, down, 3-ball derby, and the freshman has really come to life.
I was like, the kid's just a freshman as he makes the go-ahead bucket for Franklin.
39-37, Cats by 2 into the post. Lynch surrounded, kicks back out.
Oh, he probably should have looked at the basket. He was right there at the rim.
Lynch fouled. Wow, that was Blackman, I suppose, and that'll be his third.
Well, it's an easy call right here. Reach in, foul on the arm as he's going to shoot again. His ability down there and his craftiness to score and move the basketball, move without the basketball is the reason why we're back at the line. But unfortunately, free throws are coming back to haunt Folsom Bulldogs.
Haunt, that might be putting it mildly. Coming into the quarter, they were 2 for 8, and they've missed 3 more here in the fourth, make it 2 for 11. And Lynch himself has missed 5 out of 7. #2, another miss.
And there you go, the tall, lanky man Freddie coming out to half court, getting the full timeout.
Wow, a full-time 2-point lead Franklin, and they've got the rock here on the flip side of quarter #4.
And to think it's not a lot of bodies in here for Franklin, but they were really rowdy on that last timeout call.
Well, their contingent feels that they've had the short end of the officiating tonight, and that's part of that extra fervor. Well, this one is a doozy, but we've got another game coming at you early next week as we go ever deeper into the Sac-Joaquin section playoffs, moving to the semifinal round, and it'll be on the girls' side Tuesday, Feb 19. So stay tuned for further details as we're again putting you into some suspense.
Oh, it's always fun when we get deep into the playoff semifinals to get to the big house of dreams. So it's going to be a good matchup, good battle. I can't wait to see who we find out who we play.
Yes, I know the feeling. The adventure of what lies ahead. But what lies ahead right now is 3 minutes, 40 seconds. Here in the fourth. Don't rule out extra sessions anytime.
Oh no, a good matchup right now. We'll go into overtime because I haven't seen either team pull out a difference maker. They're pretty much playing even keel. But right now we got 3:40 on the clock, and that's a lot of time to pull some separation in there.
Well, one of the difference makers that could emerge is a very talented freshman. The inbound goes to Estacio, brushed by 2 defenders right down the slot. A miss. Tough luck.
And he got a lot of contact, as you see, Coach, looking on to the refs right now for a call.
Scott transition the other way, banks it home. And we are tied.
Taking care of the basketball and free throws right now is going to be so smart, as well as how people play on defense so that they do not pick up unnecessary fouls. Both teams having pivotal players and crucial fouls right now, so who could be the smarter team?
Go! Estacio down!
That kid is
Three-ball
deadly.
derby. At the other end, Cummings has a layup.
Coming out of nowhere for that last bucket.
Extended pressure continues here for Folsom, trying to wear down Estacio. 2 bumps from Cummings.
Yeah.
And then an arm check foul.
That's a lot of contact. You got to let him be able to move the ball, and he's crafty with it. When he throws it behind his back, he creates the extra contact as he turns his hips before the defender and gets that little bump.
Time out taken, a 30 taken by the Wildcats. Will keep it right here as the Wildcats cling now to just a 1-point lead.
And, you know, right now, I know this is a 2.5 left to go, but when I see Coach Wall with so much energy and then his team kind of walking in, as you see him talking to the refs right now, like, Folsom has to find a spark within themselves. The game is not over. They're not out of position, but a lot of players tend to, when the things are not going their way or they're down in the valley, they tend to go down, and that's what Folsom cannot do right now. They need to keep their heads up. They need to play with that step like they are ready to go.
Well, we've got 2:28 left in this one, quite a ways to go, and again, it might go beyond the distance. However, several players in the running now for player of the game honors as we get the ballot out. But again, we've got some distance to cover here. Here's Estacio, badgered deep at 25 feet by Rose. And now to Blackman with Scott right in his shirt. Martinez-Reyes, pass to the corner. Chancy pass. And they're going to allow the save there by Lynch. Call it another turnover off the timeout.
Right. Didn't need to force that, just needed to move the ball or maybe even penetrate and execute because they double-teamed Estacio.
Back cut. Fears can't handle it off the board from Rose. Transition. Estacio short. Lynch back for the rebound. Send it ahead. Hits Rose. Take it strong. Down! Freshman speed merchant Malik Rose with the go-ahead bucket for the Bulldogs. 1:33 to go.
And that's because Estacio missed the last layup and then nobody got back and gave up an easy one to the fastest player on the court maybe.
Estacio tied up, the ball stolen by Fears. Send it ahead, here's Scott. Stripped away again by the hustling Blackman.
Blackman being a difference maker tonight in the game defensively.
Another look. And great hands there. Time out taken. It comes with 1:19 to go. And a 1-point Bulldog lead. Well, this crowd has been treated. No question about that. Though not a huge crowd. Again, adverse weather conditions partly responsible for that, besides general apathy. But this has been definite playoff intensity from the beginning. Folsom came out with guns blazing with a 21-point first quarter. And now, with just over a minute left, struggling along here with 43 for the game. Tough D on both sides. We shall see. 1:19 left. We'll see who stays calm and who might get rattled. Folsom has the rock. Rose, whose screaming layup was a big bucket moments ago. He'll inbound baseline left. There's the cutter, Scott. Turnaround, Jay. Got it. Clutch bucket, Jalen Scott. 3-point lead, 1:10 to go. Estacio penetrates, surrounded and stolen by Fears again. And a fast break layup is White, didn't try for the block. Back-to-back buckets. Here's Blackman, a kick out to Estacio, a three on the way, air ball short, out of bounds to the Bulldogs.
Just no legs on that last possession from Estacio, but still not over. They need to be patient and get a good bucket.
Five-point lead. Here's a leak out. Rose down. Wright got burnt on the long pass. Timeout taken by the Wildcats as they're now down 7. And the mini guard speed merchant coming up big late. 6 in the second half, 8 for the game for Malik Rose. As it looks like, unless something quite extraordinary happens, that the Folsom Bulldogs may hang on to escape the upset bid from Franklin this evening here at Bulldog Gym. So challenged is Folsom that spectators from the crowd getting out onto the court to urge the crowd to cheer louder.
This is the crazy part, though. It's the older fans that are getting on the young bucks about cheering for the Bulldogs. Here in Bulldog Land, this is a community in the country that believes in each other. Even at halftime, they have younger kids on the court. They have the same thing on the field during football season. They want to teach you at a very young age that it's Folsom or die. And everybody in this gym right now in Folsom red and white is feeling that type of enthusiasm.
Well, Jalen Scott has come up big for Folsom. 16 points, equally split. 8 in the first, 8 so far here in the second. He's got game-high honors right now. So here's the full court pressure set up against the Wildcats. They're going to try to get it to Estacio, who's doubled, but it goes to Blackman. They need to hustle now. Through traffic. 3 on the way. Martinez-Reyes a miss. Lynch boards it. And a foul called on the rebound battle. Either Johnson or Blackman. Let's wait and see here. It's on Blackman. His 4th. To the other end. Bonus free throwing.
And you
Double
see Coach
bonus.
Manfredi looking on right now. It's a tough game. His team literally played and gave everything they had down the stretch. But right now, Folsom is just showing too much power and holding on.
On the night, Lynch 3 for 9 from the stripe. Short, that one wobbled home too. Okay, big free throws there. 51-42, the lead is 9.
He's getting rolled all the way.
Estacio to Johnson, layup good. And a timeout taken.
And I'm surprised that I didn't see more calls for Estacio. He was getting bumped a lot of times on the drive that they did not go his way. And he could create the contact, and a lot of it wasn't because he was creating the contact, it's because he's getting bumped all the way down the court.
If I were to estimate, I'd say he, in tonight's action, was fouled 20 or 25 times.
Easily.
That's right, 20 or 25 times. However, the Folsom Bulldogs are in prime position now to lock up a win that would propel Folsom into the semifinal round. And lurking on the upper side of the bracket, #1 seed Sheldon. And we covered a heck of a game a year ago at Sheldon that went overtime in a real barn burner that still seems like yesterday to many of the spectators there that evening. Scott leads Folsom with 16. And Estacio with 16 for Franklin. Scott to inbound. Goes to Rose. He up courts. Stolen away by Johnson. Drive it, kick it. 3 on the way. Down! Leland Estacio.
It's never over when Estacio's on the court, and then Coach Wall calls a timeout on the other side. Very surprised that he called a timeout, but that's one person that you didn't want to get wide open, and nobody by Folsom was near Estacio, and he knocks in a 3.
He sure did. He's dropped 2 of them in the last minute plus. A tough veteran playing out the string all the way. 9 seconds left. The lead is 4. Well, this crowd has been sufficiently motivated to remain on the edge of their seats until this one is called over. Jalen Scott will inbound the basketball for Folsom here with 9 seconds left, and the Bulldogs up 4. Franklin looking for a steal here on this inbound play. There it is. A lob. Dylan Davis. Cross court picked off. Here's the freshman Wright. Ooh, off target, and there is a buzzer ending this ball game that went right down to the wire. Number 2 seed Folsom hangs on and escapes with a victory. Both clubs showing some sportsmanship in a very, very intense, hard-fought battle. Testimony from all the spectators tonight, I'm sure, would be unanimous about that statement. Emotion, oh yeah, high emotion, as there's nothing quite like the hard crash when a team gets eliminated from the playoff run. However, there might be an escape clause in this for a NorCal berth, but we'll deal with that later as far as Franklin's concerned. But Folsom jumped out quick with a 21-point first quarter, and at one point led by 16, only to see Franklin continue to come back on multiple occasions and forged a fourth quarter lead that they held until it was 42-41 late. We're going to come right back and continue our coverage here of Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week with our post-game segment, and Lauren Goodman will be interviewing our players of the game. So stay with us.
I'm Ferdinand. You look at me and think big. You think scary, but I'm a little misunderstood. Funny! Sorry, I almost killed you. You've all been misunderstood. You're not a fighter.
Oh, I don't understand that at all.
Kids with learning and attention issues like dyslexia and ADHD are misunderstood too. Take the time to understand.
Best plan ever!
With the right support, everyone can reach their full potential, because you can't judge a bull by his cover. Learn more at understood.org.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
The verdict is in, and the decision is final this evening in Folsom, where tonight the second seed host Folsom Bulldogs jumped out early and then withstood a furious Franklin comeback that went down to the final minute and emerged with a hard-fought 51-47 victory. With that win, Folsom advances now to the semifinal round of the Sac-Joaquin section basketball playoffs. Lots of star power out there tonight and some wonderful individual efforts, and we have from that selected our players of the game. And for visiting Franklin, their outstanding senior guard Leland Estacio, a 19-point performance, and 10 of those came in the fourth quarter, including a couple of three balls when the Wildcats were frantically trying to climb back in it. And for host Folsom, Jalen Scott, a very smooth, solid 16-point performance, equally split, 8 points in each half. These are our players of the game, Leland Estacio and Jalen Scott. Lauren Goodman is standing by with our players of the game. Lauren?
Well, tonight is always hard when it's win or go home, but here now I get to stand next to the two top players that you already gave enough information about. First, for the Franklin Wildcats, I'm here with Leland Estacio. Now, you've been on this crazy scoring streak. What is your preparation like to get you in this zone that you've been in as of lately?
We just continue to watch film on our opponents, preparing every single day of practice, and just having my teammates trust me with the ball.
Now, down the streak, you were really big for your team, big-time fourth quarter, 10 points for your team. What is the mentality or your focus down the stretch when you're trying to get a bucket?
All of us try to continuously fight, try to get back in the game. We've been doing it all season, fighting to the last minute.
Well, now I know, Leland, you guys had an emotional moment on the sideline. It's always tough. Talk to me about the emotion with your teammates and Coach Manfredi at the end for you.
We all know we had a great season, pushing each other throughout these couple of months during the season. So, we were just happy but sad that it's over.
Now, Leland, I know you're an outstanding player, top obviously in the Delta League. What is your plans after this year?
I just hopefully to continue playing basketball through my college experience, for the few next years.
Well, it's always a joy to watch you. Good luck in your near future, and thank you for tonight. Now, for the home team, smiling ear to ear because he's taking home a victory tonight, Jalen Scott. How big is it to win at home playing in front of your home crowd?
It's huge. One thing that we always say is protect home court. So that's what we always want to do. We always want to give the fans a show. And we take pride in protecting the home court.
Well, now, I know this is a different Folsom team that you probably experienced out of all the 3 years that you've been here, but it seemed like late down the stretch, you were just that guaranteed bucket. What was the coaches or what were you going through in your mind to just think, I need to score for my team or I need to be there for my team?
So with our team, we have 5 guys at any time that can score. So our coach always preaches, if a play comes up, take it. And don't try to force too much and just know your role and do your job. That's our motto. Know your role, do your job.
Well, tonight you guys took home a big one, obviously against a good competitor in Franklin. But in those first 2 games, how do you feel like you've gotten better overall that's going to help you take down the Modesto Christian?
Yes. You know, the playoff atmosphere is way different from league, so it's more getting the whole team ready because I've been here. A lot of these guys haven't been here, so I'm that leader figure, so I'm trying to help them and groom them to know what's coming up next.
Well, you talked about your leadership, Jalen. Now it's just 1 game away from Golden 1. How is that conversation when you get back with your team right now? 1 game to Golden 1.
We need to fix our mistakes, go get practice, hydrate, sleep, keep doing what we're doing. Don't change a thing because teamwork has got us here, and teamwork will get us to where we want to go.
Well, Jalen, you had an outstanding performance tonight. Good luck in your next game against Modesto Christian. Will, I'm going to try to find Coach Wall. He's somewhere around the gym, but back to you.
Thank you, Lauren. Certainly 2 well-deserved honors, a couple of outstanding players of the game this evening, and well said by Jalen Scott. Know your role and do the job. It's basic, but at the same time, it's deep enough to comprehend that execution is still the bottom line of that motto. And tonight, the 2-seed Folsom Bulldogs executed just enough to achieve victory against a formidable opponent, the type of team that no highly seeded ball club wants to face, even on their home floor. And Ken Manfredi's visiting Franklin Wildcats gave a wonderful account of themselves tonight, the 7th seed going on the road tonight and giving the Bulldogs every single bit they wanted. We want you to hang out with us for a little while longer. We're going to come back from this break, and perhaps Lauren will have caught up with Coach Mike Wall, and we'll hear his comments about tonight's wild ball game. Stay with us.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Hi, I'm Lourdes Stefan, host of Univision's Sal y Pimienta. Cancer doesn't just change the way you feel, it changes the way you look. From losing your hair, even your eyebrows, to changes in your skin and nails, cancer treatment can rob you of your confidence and self-esteem. But Look Good, Feel Better changes all that. More than 800,000 women have learned how to address the appearance side effects of cancer treatment through our workshops. Visit lookgoodfeelbetter.org to find a free workshop near you. Let Look Good, Feel Better help you feel like you again.
Welcome back. Looking around Bulldog Gym here with many people out on the court and meandering around after tonight's intense ball game. The spectators look as drained as the players. The emotional strain is what accounts for that, but it was that type of a ball game here tonight. And certainly I'd say our crowd here tonight got their money's worth before the first half was completed, and it just stayed that way all throughout the second half. Lauren, I know you have comments about the way this game evolved quarter to quarter, the difficulties each team were having, such as the Lynch foul trouble and so forth, but as frustrated as they got, well, here's Coach Wall. We'll catch up with him momentarily. As frustrating as these coaches got, they stayed on point with their ball clubs and took them home. And certainly a disappointing night for Ken Manfredi's outfit, but they might still have one more game in them, depending on how this NorCal selection shakes out. And, of course, Mike Wall, who's just re-entered the gym area. Lauren Goodman catching up with him. He he had some tense moments throughout the evening. And, but he's a 12-year veteran with 305 wins. And obviously that was nothing new for Coach Wall, as he was able to remain in focus. And as a result, guide his team to a major victory tonight that will earn them a spot in the semifinals against Modesto Christian. So Lauren has, in fact, collared Coach Wall, standing by, and we'll turn our attention back to Goody. What you got, pal?
Well, Will, I'm here with the man of the hour, kind of getting ambushed by everybody. Coach, I got to comment on the amazing coaching performance tonight. You kind of got to push your team to the level. Can you kind of talk to me about your halftime talk?
Wow. I just was very frustrated with our second quarter shot selection, and and therefore then it led to breakouts on their end, which gave them easy baskets, and we were taking tough shots, and we just wanted to get back to playing our game. We had some foul trouble in there with our big guy Deshaun, and we just stress staying who we are and staying within our individual selves, not trying to do stuff that we're not capable of doing and not ready to be doing. And so third quarter got a little bit better, but we got a lot better shots, but we just still couldn't make shots. It was a really frustrating game, but our guys just kept grinding, and we ran a few plays where we got some easy baskets out of bounds and some other things, and thank God we kind of got a fast break on against their press, and got a couple fast break layups where guys pushed the basketball. And these guys are just really gritty, and sometimes grit overcomes poor shooting. Thank God our defense was able to keep us in the game long enough for us to score.
Well, Coach, they never got a lead on you there. They got a little lead, 1 point, not too bad. But I talked to Jalen before you came out, Coach, and he talked about you talking to your team about players being ready, whoever is ready when your number is called, just being ready. And in that second half, you had a really big spark from him with 8 points. Yes. And then Malik came off the bench, another couple 4 points or 6 points there in that half. Talk about your players and their development as the year have come. This is our second time seeing you, and there's just a different player that's stepping up every time for you.
And that's been our strength all year, is that at different times, even within the same game, everybody's doing a part. Tyler Fears had a couple nice steals. Malik had a nice steal down there that led to runouts, and when they were driving in, we peeled the ball out of their hands. We got a couple deflections, and that led to the breakout, and then Jalen was the beneficiary on the end of the play. And then the out-of-bounds plays we executed really well under stress. And so our guys, like I said, when the stress got higher, we focused better. And that's a credit to each one of them, because all 5 have to do it. If somebody spaces out, somebody doesn't execute, then it doesn't come out the way it did. And I tell you, credit to Franklin. They had us scouted really well. They played a really good game plan. We got up on them early, out big, and they didn't back away. They just kept going at us with some really nice players that they've got, and a great coaching staff. Boy, they had us nailed defensively, and that's part of the reason why we shot poorly. But fortunately, our guys are, like I said, mentally very tough, and we're very focused and able to get us over the top.
Coach, now you mentioned your defense and talked about how your guys play defense together, but tonight your game plan attributed to your team as well. You guys had a combination of working players that guarded Estacio down the stretch, even though he got his buckets not in the same manner that he normally scores. Can you kind of talk to me about your game plan for him?
Yeah, we just threw different guys at him and just said stay in front of him. Keep a hand up, stay in front of him the best you can. I tell you, I thought our guys did a hell of a job. They made him shoot tough shots. He made some. He's a great player. He really is. And he made tough shots, but he made very few easy shots. And Deshaun Lynch in the second half played the entire half with 3 fouls and was just a stopper in the middle. And they would come into him, and he just put hands up and made them shoot over him, and then he'd get the rebound. And his rebounding and defensive performance around the basket helped complement the guards' performance against Estacio, and some really great guards that Franklin has.
Coach, now I have to mention to you as well, your free throwing tonight was also one of your challenges as far as getting buckets down the stretch. Not really the shooting percentage that you wanted at home. Yeah. Talk to me about your free throws tonight, Coach, and the frustration that you kind of were dealing with.
Boy, it sucks the life out of you when you miss 2 free throws after doing great offense, because it's like a turnover. But yet we got the ball inside, we got a shot, they fouled us, and then we almost got an and one, and we get none. and that just deflates. Missing layups and missing 2 free throws on a inside shot, it feels like a turnover. And we had so many of those tonight, but fortunately our guys didn't hang their head. They didn't take it out on their defense. That really is a credit to our players for staying with their defensive game plan and intensity in the face of missed free throws. Because a lot of times you can go, and hang your head, and then they score and you make it double as bad. And so, like I said, I just give a lot of credit to our kids for staying mentally tough and hanging in there. And again, Franklin just really played a whale of the game, turned into a great high school basketball game despite a poor shooting performance. So,
Coach, there's a lot of new things happening for you guys in this new system of the home before Golden One. So now you guys will be hosting Modesto Christian here at home. Coach, I know tonight it was a lot for you, but where's your mind at in prepping for that big game coming up?
In about 2 hours, I'll be watching a lot of Modesto Christian film. We're ready. This is, I think, a bunch of years in a row where we've had home games at the beginning, and we'd really like to get back to Golden One or to what used to be old Arco Arena again, which has been a little while since we've done it. But they're an amazing team, and it's going to take a full, focused 4 or 5 days of team effort to get there. But I'm never going to count these guys out. You shoot this way and still get a win. If we shoot well, I think anything can happen.
Well, thank you so much, Coach, for your time. Good luck on your next matchup. Will?
Well, thank you, Lauren. Boy, that was more than a mouthful. Coach Wall always provides a full explanation and some insightful comments now pertaining to his ball club, and some wonderful praise extended to Ken Manfredi's Franklin Wildcats. I love that type of respect, and it was certainly well-deserved. And gracious of Coach Wall to extend those kudos to the Wildcats. But tonight, Folsom had just enough, and your question to Coach Wall, Lauren, about free throwing, it wound up 4 for 13 on the night. And all 4 from Lynch, who only shot 4 of 9. So it was a disaster at the foul line, yet they emerged with victory.
Well, we talked about it before even the end of the game. I felt like Folsom was doing an amazing job as far as playing defense, getting stops. Even though Franklin was making the big runs that they were, Folsom was able to hold them off, and that's a credit to their defense that I got to talk to Coach Wall about.
In contrast, for the entire evening, Franklin just had 6 free throws and clicked on 5 of them. Turnovers was their Achilles. They had 12 of them, but many of them were in succession that turned a bad situation even worse. On the other hand, Folsom really took care of the basketball, and that was one of your game at a glance points to keep in mind. Just 6 for the entire game.
Oh, they played their style. I thought that was the highlight of the game. Having those keys is important, but when the team actually does it, it makes it even more solid. I think Folsom played the game that they wanted to play. They played up-tempo, they played fast, they extended the court, they extended the pressure, and they really became a defensive-minded, sound team. So even when their offense wasn't on and wasn't clicking, they were able to get stops when they needed to. As well as for the Franklin Wildcats, I think they needed to move the ball more and have more pieces of part of their offense. They have an amazing scoring tandem with Wright and Anastasio, but they needed to move the ball more and have those other players contribute. It may have been a difference in the game tonight.
And it was just such a slim difference that decided this outcome tonight. And having spoken with Coach Manfredi during the week, that was one of his points of discussion, is finding that third scorer, that third option that really would pose problems for any defense.
Well, that's true. If you have a good two-man tandem, but you have a key set of role players, then you will have an opportunity to be in any ball game, especially when a team shoots as bad as Folsom did tonight. They didn't really do a good job of shooting, but on the other hand, got to give credit to Manfredi and his ball club because they responded. Every time when you can respond, there's nothing more you can ask for your team but to step up to the challenge, and I think Folsom did that. Franklin did that in every way.
They did as well, and certainly Coach Wall's compliment to the Franklin defense, well-deserved, and again, gracious in saying so. A quick look at individual scoring tonight. For Franklin, 19 points for Leland Estacio to lead the way, and those 2 late threes kept things very tight. 14 for freshman Davion Wright. 7 of those came in the third quarter when they launched an excellent comeback to stay close. 8 points for Blackman, all in the first half, and his ball hawking on defense was dynamite. 4 off the bench for Johnson on a couple of in-close putback opportunities, and a bucket for Jalen Roberts in the post. And as mentioned, 5 of 6 at the foul line tonight for Franklin, despite getting roughed up like they were inside a pinball machine. Did not get rewarded at the foul line with opportunities to score there. For Folsom, 16. For Jalen Scott, 8 and 8 in each half. And then 10 points for Lynch, and 4 of those came from the foul line in the second half. Not a lot to go around. 8 for Malik Rose, 6 after the intermission, and some of the ball hawking there and the speed runouts is what helped keep Franklin at bay. 6 for leading scorer Tyler Fears. Dylan Davis had 5 points in the first couple of minutes of the game and didn't score again, and sat the bench for quite some time despite not being in foul trouble. In fact, he didn't even pick up 1 foul. And a bucket off the bench for Binder Pillane in the first quarter to complete the Folsom scoring. 4 for 13 at the foul line, but just 6 turnovers to Franklin's 12. Statistically and by the numbers, anybody's game tonight, and tonight it came up big for Folsom. The 2 seed advances, as you mentioned, and as Coach Wall reiterated, they've had quite a go with Modesto Christian over the years, and they'll go ahead and do that again. But we're not finished either, because next week, another sports a special telecast just for you, for our wonderful viewing audience with NFHS and our cable audience. And we'll be working on Tuesday the 19th, Lauren. Should we tell them who we're going to cover? No, let's not.
We're going to keep it a secret.
It is. It's a secret. So you'll just have to suffer over the weekend, but all good-naturedly. Well, that's the way it shakes out tonight here at Bulldog Gym on the campus of Folsom High School in this quarter-final round playoff game. Folsom wins it 51-47 in a furious brawl that went down to the final seconds. They advanced to the semis and improved to 25-5, while Ken Manfredi's valiant Franklin Wildcats go down and their record slips to 19-10, but who knows what the NorCal Selection Committee might say. The Access Sacramento Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast crew extends their appreciation and gratitude to the Folsom High School administration, particularly head coach Mike Wall, for the cooperation and assistance with our broadcast arrangements tonight. The Hometown Sports Game of the Week is a special sports presentation of Access Sacramento in association with Play by Play Sports Productions. For Lauren Goodman, our game director Nick Dunn, and the entire Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast crew, I'm Will James. We thank you for joining us tonight, and as we always do, look forward to the next occasion when we can join you. From Folsom High School, so long, everyone.
This program from Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week is available for purchase on DVD. For more information, call Access Sacramento, 916-456-8600, extension 0. This has been a Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast from Access Sacramento. Major underwriting support this season for Hometown Sports Game of the Week on Access Sacramento is provided by the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission. Access Sacramento also thanks Sharif Jewelers, fine jewelers since 1932. Sharif Jewelers, a longtime sponsor of community television. And Folsom Lake Honda, a proud sponsor of Access Sacramento's Hometown TV and Game of the Week, and a partner in our community, Folsom Lake Honda.